We are live. Welcome, Real Estate Exam Study Group. This is Adam Ashba, Honduras instructor and broker at Ashmont Realty. And we have a very special guest today, Whitney Hamby, our very own Ashmont Realty agent. Whitney Hamby is here with us live, and we're going to talk to her. She passed her test the first time, and she's got a lot of great tips. Some tips is about process of elimination that I really want to dive into a little bit more because we haven't covered that in the study group. So we're going to talk to Whitney about that and a lot of other great tips and stuff right after this. All right, Whitney, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Whitney was in my class at Hondros. I'm going to jump ahead of her story here in a second. And she was a hard worker. And I was like, Whitney, you gotta work with me because you're great. So, but with that being said, Whitney, tell us a little bit about you, where you live, what's your story and things. And we are live, guys. So if you have any comments or questions for Whitney, we got one already coming in saying hello. Let me know because we can, Whitney will answer them for us, while we talk. So go ahead, Whitney. Stage is all yours.
Well, my name is Whitney. I live in Columbus. I've lived here for 9 years, going on 9 years. I moved here from West Virginia. So I've been at my job. I have a full-time job. I've been there for a little over 8 years. So 8.5 years. And I decided to get into real estate. That's
all right.
It. I work a lot.
You do. One thing I want to commend her about, if you don't mind me telling them, is Whitney would go into work. Now you took all classes, right? Whitney, you did all classes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So she didn't do anything, no self-paced. She went to Hondros. I told them about that before. So she went through Hondros, did all in class. And I teach a lot of night classes, and Whitney was always front row off to my left. And she would go to work at between 4 and 5 in the morning. Some of those times when you're busy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Work till about 2:30.
2.
Right?
Yes.
2 o'clock. Come home, eat, sleep, and then be back at Hondros to listen to boring instructors, instructors like me for 4.5 hours, and then rinse and repeat, go back to bed and get back up again. And, so it's not easy, guys, but it can be done. And Whitney passed the first time. So it can be done. And, you gotta, it's not easy, but you can do it. So, Whitney, so you did, all classes. You didn't do any self-paced, everything. So where did you take your test? What location?
Groveport. It's out by where I work. So the Groveport location.
That was closer for you. Okay.
Yeah,
and did you scout it out, or did you know where you were going?
I went your test date? Yes, I went before. I just wanted to make sure I knew where I was going. So I went, made sure I knew which door to go through. I didn't go inside, but I made sure I knew where to go. Yeah,
that's so important. I keep saying that it just alleviates the stress.
Definitely.
Yeah, that when you took it, and you took yours on a Saturday, and it's been a week,
11 days,
3 days. Yeah, 10. I was gonna say 10. So, all right, yeah. So yeah, Whitney's fresh right out of the thing. So guys, again, she's right out of the gate. So if you have any questions, put your comments below and questions below. She can answer them. So, what were some things that, I guess, why did you do it in class? Why didn't you do self-paced?
Well,
you're busy.
I wanted to go to class. I felt like I would learn more. I would be able to ask questions. I just felt better about it. I felt like I could be more engaged. Okay. I can meet people who's doing the same thing I'm doing. I don't know, just felt better, and I felt like it would be easier for me to,
Okay.
like I could stick to it better if I went to class.
Yeah, I guess it's like having a personal trainer working out, maybe. Is that what you were thinking of? Okay.
Like
You
trying to work out at home versus going to the gym with the
yeah.
personal trainer.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
At
I
home,
mean,
you're
everyone does it different. Some people do it online and some do it in class. And with you being in Columbus, you were closer to the university, the campus, so you could go to it, which makes it nice, and it all worked out for you. So, what are some things that you studied um, to prep for your test that you thought like, man, I'm so glad I did that, because that really, really helped me? Because that's what
all
everyone's waiting on. We got several
law
people watching you right now. Law book. Okay.
book.
Your
Yes, that
law book.
actually chapters maybe 2 through 6.
Hmm.
Understanding the commission and just understanding the process, the division, what everyone does, that helped me a lot.
Okay. Your law book. Was there anything that you did that you were like, I spent a lot of time on it, and I think I wasted some time. It really didn't show up on the test that I thought.
I didn't have much math. I feel like
How
people
much?
have math. I may have had 3 or 4 questions. I didn't have much math.
Really?
I had to use my
Ooh,
calculator on 1 question.
that's
So
it.
yeah, I
Okay.
got up early
I
that
should
morning.
have.
Yeah, and I studied all this math, but I didn't study the math too much. But that morning, I got up early before the test, and I did spend that time on math. And I guess I could have did without that.
Okay. Well, that's true. There's just not that much math on the exam, and there are going to be maybe 1 or 2 questions. I've never seen less than 5, but I'm not saying that there couldn't be. So, for to be, I'm interested in that. Maybe pull your exam and let me know. Text me and just to say, hey, actually, I had 3, because that would be the lowest I've ever seen. It's always between 5 and 10, and but less is best. I think everyone on this that's watching live now would agree that less math is better. But
That's
I
just,
think the thing that's important is that, um, you know, there's maybe, like you said, maybe 1 or 2 questions that maybe had to get a calculator out.
yeah,
Is that how you felt?
yeah, definitely.
Do you
And I
feel that
think
you're a math guru?
I thought I would. No,
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm
Yeah,
okay.
you're okay. So you feel that you're kind of a normal average person with average math skills. You're not like some sophisticated card counter or something. Okay. Yeah. So I think that maybe will help other students when they prep to be like, gosh, Whitney, because that's just kind of how it is. It's very intimidating. All those math stuff, math, and there's really not that much. And guess what? You're probably good. You know what? You might miss 1 or 2. Okay. But you should be studying a lot of law, and in the law book and some of the P&P books,
Def-
because the test is heavily weighted over certain topics,
yes.
so, and math will maybe have 5 to 10 questions, but a lot of them are basic math. And do you remember any math questions? Any types you remember at all? Like even
It
the
was
easy ones?
it was simple. Let me see. I had maybe what percentage, like certain percentages,
Mm-hmm.
what
I think I
percentage
know where you're going.
would you have to pay on the loan, or
Okay.
I don't really remember particularly
You
the
blocked
question.
it all out, right?
I blocked it all out. Yeah, once
It
I
was
got
like
through it, it was on to the
it's
next.
like trauma. Your body just said, "I'm done. We're
Yeah, it's
blocking."
like a weight lifts off of you.
I
And you
think
just,
what you're alluding to is, and I hope this helps everyone. And again, we're live. We have almost 10 people now watching live. So if you have any questions for Whitney, put them below. We'd be happy to answer them. But a lot of them could be like, if Whitney sold a house and the house sales price was $10,000, and Whitney was getting a 3% commission on the sale price, how much commission would Whitney receive?
I did
Something
have
like that.
I did have.
Yeah. Or another one could be as like a down payment. Like you have a client that's buying a house for $100,000 and they need to put 20% down. How much should they bring to closing? Well, 20% of 100,000 would be 20,000.
Yes.
So now would you need a calculator for that? Maybe. And there's nothing wrong with it. You get one provided to you, right?
Yes.
Whitney, you didn't have to buy one, or they gave one to you, right?
They
And
don't want you to bring much in.
No, right? Just your photo ID, right?
Your ID, your key,
and your what? Your keys?
Car. Yeah.
Oh, car keys. Yeah, that's right. And so yeah, I mean, it's And now let me ask you: did you have how about time? Did you have plenty of time, or did you feel pressured?
No, I took my time. I took all the time that they allowed. I just read through the questions at least twice. Okay. When I was studying and I was taking a practice test, a lot of times if I missed a question, it's because I misread it. So I read each question twice and then answered. And that helped a lot.
Because you feel some of them were a little tricky, like they were trying to trick you.
Yes, it felt a little tricky.
Okay. One thing that you said when we talked, when you passed your test, you said about like process of elimination. And you're like, I'm so glad that I implemented that. Can you like expand more on that, what you were talking to me about?
Yeah, sometimes where the question is tricky and you go through the answers, you can eliminate a lot of the answers just based off the things you already know about those answers. So if they're asking something in particular and it's not A, B, or C, it's going to leave D. So process of elimination definitely helped me a lot.
And how did you know that A, B, C, if the answer was D, for example, how did you know fairly quickly that A, B, and C was not the right one? How do you know that?
They may not be related to the question they're asking, or knowing your definitions helps, because that's going to help you do the process of elimination. The more words you know the definitions to, the more you can eliminate.
So when you say definitions, are you talking, we're talking Hondros language here, guys. So whoever's not from Hondros, I'm sorry, but is it, when you say definitions, you mean keywords?
Yes, keywords.
Yeah. So that the keywords from everyone that's at Hondros, those are the bold letters at the beginning of each chapter. Now, do you know every single keyword exactly how it was, or did you kind of memorize all the keywords? Does that make sense? Like kind of memorize the definition, or did you know how they implemented in every aspect of it?
Maybe in between. I didn't know the perfect definition to each word, but when you see a word, you can kind of know, like, okay, I know what that is. Yeah. And I know, what they mean.
The wheelhouse, and like you understand kind of what it means. And so when you would have it in a question, you'd say, that's not even
it can't
have
be
anything to do with that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. And then some of them you guessed. Some of you probably said A or B, but I'll choose A. Is that sometimes?
It usually came down to that. There's two that you can knock off right off bat. There's two answers and then you're left with two to try to figure it out. But you figure it out between the last two, like, just do the best you can.
Yeah. Now you're 50-50, so, I mean, it's better than 25%. Yeah. So we got a lot of people with high fives and congratulations to you, Whitney. On the chat. So, yeah, they love you. So, so you got through it. So you had plenty of time.
Yes.
You ended with plenty of time. And it sounds like if you're reading the questions twice, then you were not ripping through it. You were taking your time and making sure. And then once you got to the end, did you go back at all and change answers, or you just said, hit the button and whatever my fate is, I'm going to accept? Does that make sense?
I hit the button because they taught us not to change the answers.
Right.
I really tried not to do do that. I took my time, gave the best answer I could, and just forgot about it, moved on to the next question.
Yeah.
If I felt uncomfortable about a question, I might save it to the end. And then there's a few I saved to the end and I came back to. And I just did the best.
Did it help you to do that? Meaning, what Whitney's saying is she didn't answer it. She saved it. And so it left it blank. And then she went back to it. Did it help you at all to go through the test and be like, oh, that's what that one question was about that I didn't fill out? Meaning the test kind of gave it away as you progress through it. Does that make sense?
I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
It did on a few of them. It did.
Okay.
Not too much though. No, not too much.
But
it gave me time to think about it. So when I came back to it, I'm like, okay, I think it's this answer.
Yeah. It almost like kind of steers you down the road and you're like, oh my gosh, I should have took that left-hand turn because now it was telling me I should have done left. And so, okay. Yeah. So that's great. And that's a good tactic. And that's the thing with the test. It's all about, like a point here, a point there. It's not about acing it. It's just about like focusing on the right stuff. And because we're all very busy adults, it's not like we're college students that just sit around in a dorm room every day and just read a real estate book. And there is no prize if you get a 95 or a 75. So you want to make sure you have a great strategy on passing your test. So any other words of advice before we get off today?
If you go to Hondros, they have practice tests. Those help me a lot. I believe there's 4 of them. The 2 things I did that helped me 5 days before I took the exam, the first 4 days, every day I took one of those practice tests, and then I would study what I missed, and that was my day. And then the day before my exam, I scheduled the in-person
Crammer.
Yeah, the Crammer. Yep. The Crammer. But the CompuCram helped too. I just kept taking those little tests over and over and over.
Yep. Your CompuCram, for everyone that's watching, that's your the test that's on the computer that you can kind of do whenever, self-paced. And then the Crammer is what you can do in person or via Zoom. We have a live stream. So yeah. Cool. All right. Anything else? Because we're going to let you go and relax.
Yeah. I had a long day at work, so
time. Right. Well, we appreciate you coming on. So, all right. Whitney Hamby, thank you. We salute you. Excited to see you soon. And again, guys, if you have any questions, even after, let's put questions below. And I can answer them, or Whitney will. She'll be tagged on this. And thanks again, Whitney. And look forward to launching your real estate career. So, all right. Bye-bye. Other than that, guys, thank you. Make sure, you guys like and subscribe. Thanks for everyone that participates in the exam study group, because it does help other people pass the real estate exam. With that being said, guys, have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye, everybody.